loves you. Let us give him a clap.
Alright, so by show of hands, can anybody tell me if you guys have anybody in your lives that you think of that would do anything for you or you do anything for them? It's just about everybody. Well, just like you guys, I have that one person. He's a family member. Obviously, we've been through everything together. We've grown up together. And that's going to be one of my role models, which is surprisingly my little brother. So you guys can understand how this picture signifies selflessness to me. I'm going to describe who he is as a person, the journey to our last wrestling tournament, because we were on the same wrestling team, and what was happening when this picture was taken. To begin, I'm going to tell you guys who he is, so you guys understand how whenever I see the picture, I think of selflessness. He's my little brother. His name's Jonathan. He is one of the most selfless people I know. He always puts everybody before him. Every time he was in the wrestling room, he'd be tired from cutting weight or whatever, and he'd go and take care of all the practices. He'd make sure everybody was okay, everybody was hydrated. Whenever we'd have our kids' mat club, which would come in 2 hours after our practice, he'd be like asleep, but he'd wake up to help coach them because he wanted them to get better for their tournaments. We've been through it all. When our parents got divorced, me and him were the ones who stayed with my dad. We stuck together through school, sports, and everything, and he's one of the best athletes I know. He's actually going to be going to West Virginia to go wrestle over there. So it's pretty exciting. Next, I'm going to tell you, now that I told you who he is as a person, I'm going to tell you about the journey to our last tournament. The first tournament of my senior year, I was wrestling at 145 pounds, and I took first in that tournament. My little brother was wrestling at 126 pounds, and he was facing, in the finals, the state runner-up at 126 pounds. My brother was beating him 5-0, and while that kid was getting very frustrated that he was losing, he managed to grab my brother's arm, pull it back far enough to where he snapped his collarbone, and it ended the match. And my brother was like 30 seconds away from beating the state runner-up and becoming the #1 ranked person in his weight class. After that day, I remember seeing him crying, and like I've seen him put in so much hard work that I decided that I would go down to 126 pounds and try to, because he was done for the season, I decided I would move down to 126 pounds to wrestle that kid and hopefully beat him. I went through that struggle. It was a very, very bad struggle. I started off the season at 156, so I had about 30 pounds to lose. My brother was there every single day through all the weight cuts. Every night I'd be at 24-hour fitness at about 3 in the morning on the treadmill in the sauna, and my brother would stay there. And he ended up recovering before the district tournament. And right as he recovered, because I did so well during the season, I had the #2 bid, which means if you have one of the top 2 seeds, which is what I had, you have an easier way to the finals. And so I decided, after talking to my coach, I decided to give up my bid so that my little brother would have the easier way to the finals, and I would just wrestle my way up. We both made it to the semifinals, and I wrestled the kid. I got the opportunity to wrestle the kid who hurt him, and right as I was about to win, he took me down with about like 5 seconds left, and I ended up losing. And that's when this picture was taken. I got up off the mat after they read the results over the microphone, and my brother realized that I had lost, and he was actually crying right before this because that was my senior year. And he just wiped his eyes, and I just pointed at him and told him he could do it. Sure enough, he ends up winning this match. He wins another 2, and then he makes it to the finals to wrestle that kid, and he took first. He ended up winning. He always dedicated every match to us. He went to the state tournament, and he dedicated that to me because I always wanted to win state, and he came second. And now that I told you guys about that journey, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about what happened when this picture was taken. My dad got the opportunity to take the picture. My brother ended up winning, like I said. He came second in state. After that, he started wrestling for Clackamas Community College. They're national champions out of Oregon, and now he's going to go to West Virginia. And he's always been there for me. I've always been there for him. Wrestling really brought it forward and showed me how much we care about each other. And through the description of who he is as a person, the journey to our last season, and what happened when this picture was taken, I hope you guys can understand why I think he is so selfless, and why you guys can understand that this is my favorite